Title: The Shadowed Crown. I still hear them, their laughter, that awful mocking laughter echoing in the dusty corners of my mind, where the shadows of my past cling like cobwebs. You've lost your mind? Cursed entomology? What kind of ridiculous obsession is that? They hurled their words like stones, each one stinging, each one a reminder of my own inadequacy. I had been a promising entomologist once, but after the scandal, after the accusations of theft at the university lab, my heart shattered, suffocated under the weight of betrayal. I was an outcast, a disgrace to my family, a laughingstock to my peers. So I retreated to the lighthouse, an old sentinel standing alone against the tempestuous sea, as forsaken as I felt. Here I found solace among the nocturnal moths, their delicate wings flitting like shadows under the moonlight. My obsession deepened. A fevered pursuit of parasitic species, their unnatural migrations fascinated me. But with each discovery, I felt the tendrils of something darker grasping at the edges of my sanity. Years passed in that isolated refuge, and I pored over my research, cataloging the creatures that haunted the night. I documented their movements, patterns that whispered of otherworldly origins. The more I learned, the more I felt the world's disdain seeping back in, even from afar. They mocked what they didn't understand. They claimed I was losing my grip on reality. But I knew I was only just beginning to see the truth. When recognition finally came, it was from those willing to confront the horrors buried beneath the surface of our reality. I became an expert, a voice in the shadows, charting the cursed territories that others dared not tread. I was invited to speak at conferences, my research garnering respect until it turned into fear. I exposed phenomena others pretended didn't exist, becoming a warning rather than a disgrace. My family, who had cast me out, had heard the whispers. They couldn't ignore my name any longer. Now, as I stand before their door, I feel the heavy weight of what I carry. My research, sure, but also the horror that has become my companion. My heart races, the pounding echoing in my ears, a stark contrast to the tranquil facade of the house. I'm here to show them what I have become, to confront them with the consequences of their ridicule. When my mother opened the door, her eyes widened in disbelief, then narrowed with skepticism. "What do you want?" she asked, her voice cold, the warmth of her embrace replaced by the chill of judgment. "Can I come in?" I asked, and she hesitated, glancing back at my father, who stood just behind her. The shame skittered across my skin. After a long moment, she stepped aside. "Fine, but don't expect any apologies." I stepped into the past, the familiar sense filling my lungs, a mix of lingering childhood memories and a suffocating atmosphere of disdain. They still saw the frail shadow I once was, the child who had chased after mobs and dreams alike, but they didn't understand the darkness that had enveloped me since. I stood in front of them, my parents, my sister, all of them with eyes that flickered from suspicion to fear as I began to recount my findings. I spoke of the parasitic behavior that had become my life's work, of the way certain mobs could control their hosts, leading them into madness. I described the patterns I had observed, the eerie migrations that seemed to pulse with a sentient force. Their eyes grew wide as I continued, revealing how I'd survived encounters with the very creatures they had dismissed as figments of imagination. I could feel their disbelief wane, the chill of fear creeping into the room. But I had more to show than just words. In the dim light, I reached into my satchel and pulled out a small glass terrarium. Inside, a single moth flitted restlessly against the walls, its wings shimmering with a luminous glow. "This," I said, pointing, "is a Luminaris nocturna, an entity tied to the blight that has been spreading through our world. This moth feeds on fear, on despair. It's a harbinger of the chaos that lies beneath the surface." Their expressions shifted from doubt to horror. a palpable tension coiling in the air. I opened the terrarium's lid just a crack, and the moth escaped, fluttering into the shadows of the room. "Where did it go?" my sister gasped, backing away. And then it happened. The lights flickered and dimmed. Shadowy tendrils reached out from the corners, creeping across the walls like a living entity. I could feel it, the weight of their disbelief, the consequences of their mockery manifesting all around us. "Do you see it now? Do you believe me?" I shouted over the rising clamor of their screams as the shadows converged, swirly, wrapping around them, pulling them into a maelstrom of dread. Their faces twisted in terror, and I saw the realization dawn upon them. The cost of their ridicule was coming to collect. The shadows bore the memories of my isolation, of their scorn, and they would not let go. As the darkness enveloped my family, I stepped back, feeling a strange sense of vindication wash over me. I had faced the horrors they had deemed unreal. With each step away from the house, I felt the dark knowledge anchor itself deeper within me, a bittersweet reminder that sometimes to embrace the darkness is the only way to survive the light.